Hello, Leah Goujon here. So, just an update and a bit of a cost overview of some of the materials that we're going to be using to build the perimeter wall. I had a little side job that I was working on for a week or so. That's finished up now, which is perfect timing because on Thursday, this is Sunday, so Thursday and Friday, they started trenching the property along the perimeter boundary lines of the property where the perimeter wall is going to go. So the perimeter wall is literally made up of 8-inch blocks. The materials are block, rebar, cement, bags of cement. There'll be some sand that'll be brought in, as well as capstone that'll go along the top. And then the labor, of course. What I decided to do, most builders want to come in and just quote you a set price for the entire project. They'll ask you for 30% of that entire price up front, and then they'll set some sort of payment schedule over the period of time that they think the project's going to be. As I mentioned in a previous video, 9 times out of 10, they end up running out of money before they run out of time. And also they are adding quite a lot of money on top of the material costs for themselves. Most of the quotes that I got, I calculated they were adding about 30%. So if something was costing them $1, they were going to be charging me $1.30. So by just shopping for my own materials, I was able to save myself 30%, and in some cases more, because in some cases I was actually able to get a better price than the price that they were getting it for. Then it was a little more difficult trying to find a builder who would just work for the labor, agree that I would do the materials. A lot of them are concerned that, I'm not going to be able to schedule the delivery of the materials properly, and there'll be interruptions, and they feel that if they have control, then, the job will go much smoother. Like I said in a previous video, they're not great budgeters. So unfortunately that doesn't always work out. So I finally found someone that I'm happy with, and he went ahead and started on Thursday. And, he did try, even just for the labor, tried to get 30% from me up front, and I just said no. I said I'm going to, what I decided to do is, they said it would be a 6 to 8 week project. And so what I'm going to do is just take the amount of labor that was quoted and take it over 10 weeks. That allows for a 2-week overage for weather, Christmas is in there, things like that. And then, if we go the 10 weeks, then there's money budgeted there. If he does finish in 8 weeks or six weeks, then that's to his advantage. Obviously, at the end of the 6 or 8 weeks, there'll be a lump sum that's being owed to him for the remainder of the labor payment. So that's how that's all come down. So now, a couple weeks ago, I went shopping for all the materials, and especially the block and the bags of cement, because those two things seem to be the biggest cost of all the materials. So I got a price of block anywhere from, and I decided to do a 8-inch thick wall as opposed to a 6-inch thick wall, just for extra strength. It's a boundary wall. It's 7 to 8 feet tall. There's not a whole lot holding it up, so I need it to be secure for a very long time. So for the extra amount of money per block, which was, just pesos per block, it was for me better to do an 8-inch. And the prices varied, but at the end of the day, the best price I got was actually at a block fabricator. So that's where I ended up buying the block, and the rebar and the bags of cement I bought at a ferreteria here in town, which is like a hardware store, building supply store. So at the building supply store, they now here in the Dominican Republic, there is an 18% goods and services tax on almost everything you purchase, whether it is restaurant food or alcohol or a hotel room or building materials. It doesn't matter. There's 18% charged on it. So when you're getting prices quoted to you, you need to know, is the price being quoted to you, is that including the 18%, or is there still going to be charged 18% on top? Because, you know, I mean, 18%, that's quite a bit of money when you're budgeting. So you need to know those things. So the ferreteria that I got the cement and the rebar from is the ferreteria here in town. And you can see, I guess it's, oh no, you should be able to read it. So they basically, the price he quoted me was 450 pesos for a bag of cement. So you can see here the way they break it down is he actually has charged me 381 pesos for the bag of cement, and then once tax is charged, it works out to be 450 pesos. So, you know, his price included the 18% ITBIS. So ITBIS is just the short form for the goods and services tax. So that's something that you need to know when you're looking for building materials. The cement block I ended up purchasing, I went right to a fabricator. And because I negotiated with them, I got the best price that I was quoted by anybody, anywhere. And I agreed to pay cash, so they didn't charge me the 18% at all. So that worked out really well. So my total materials so far have worked out to be about 555,000 pesos. And the labor is 600,000 pesos. And then there is 7,800 pesos, which is about 144 US dollars. I've calculated in there, in Canada, we call it like workman's compensation. I'm not sure what it's called in the United States, but it's here in the Dominican Republic, it's the Administration of Working Risks. It's the ARL. So, and it usually works out to be between 1 and 1.3% of the total labor cost. And it's just paid for, you know, any sort of accidents that should occur on the work site. So it's important when you are employing people here in the Dominican Republic that you're employing them properly and that you're abiding by the employment laws, and you know, everyone is covered by all of the government agencies here, the Ministry of Labor, the Ministry of Employment, and this ARL, the Administration of Working Risks. So, I mean, it's an extra, for my total project, it's an extra $144. So it's worth it for the total cost. So right now, the total for everything right now is 21,500 US dollars. For the total perimeter wall. So I'm pretty happy with that, and hopefully we'll have that done before Christmas, fingers crossed. If not, it'll be shortly after Christmas that it'll be done. So I'll keep you guys posted as to paying for it, when I'm paying for it, how much product's being dropped off, because it's so much product. I don't want all of that block and all of that rebar and all of those bags of cement dropped off at the work site at the same time, so that has to be scheduled. So we'll discuss that in the next video. But for now, that's just the result and the cost of this project. Anyway, we'll see you later.